Hi everybody, my name is Sarah, and for those of you who don't know, I am a brand ambassador with Kenra Professional. I want to give you guys a warm welcome to our Rose to the Occasion class. Today we are going to be talking about a new color technique launched with our new Rose Metallics line that hasn't even hit stores yet. And we will also be talking about our new Snail Anti-Aging line. So I want to welcome you all, and I hope you have fun. Alright guys, we are here today with our beautiful model Zoe.
Hey!
She has never been anything but blonde, so we are going to take this blonde virginity away from her. So today we are going to be using the Rose Metallics on her. I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Let's talk a little bit about our partings and sections. I made this color technique very simple, straightforward, and easy to use. I wanted you guys to be able to utilize it on any client that sits in your chair. It's going to be just a very basic 4-quadrant partings, and we will be taking diagonal sectionings throughout the color application. So we will go ahead and just do a part down the center all the way to the back of the head here. My little tip for you guys is always part to a finger or a thumb. It just makes your sectioning a lot cleaner. So I'm going to put my finger right behind her ear. I want to go ahead, I call this my headband parting. So imagine as if your client was wearing a headband. So I'm going to start at the top here and just part right below her ear and section these out. Nice clean partings. We'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side here. And then split that back section right in half. Now Zoe has no idea what we're doing to her hair today. She was very brave. She does know we are using our new Rose Metallics, but other than that she has absolutely no idea. So what we're going to do with her today is we are going to do a deep root shadow faded down into a color melt. So just a very seamless, wearable look. I do want to point out that this can be something you can use on any client that sits in your chair. You don't necessarily have to use the Rose Metallics. I just really wanted to bring the Rose Metallics to life in this class today. So it's very customizable for any client that sits in your chair. So as you guys can see, we have her head split into 4 different sections here, with that headband parting in the front and then the 2 base sections in the back. Okay, so for our color formulation for Zoe, we are going to do equal parts of our 5VR and our 8 ROM Rose Metallics. So we'll do equal parts these 2 color and mix with our 10 volume developer. And as we go into the color melt, for the mid shaft there, we are going to use our 8 Rose Metallic. And then for the ends of the hair, we are going to incorporate in our level 10 Rose Metallics. Alright guys, we are going to go ahead and start our color applications. So we have our 4 sections here. I'm going to go ahead and start in the back of the head here. We are going to start with our 5VR and our 8 ROM mixture here. What we're going to do with this is we're going to create a root shadow on Miss Zoe's hair here. What we are going to do is take down the first back section. I'm going to go ahead and outline our section with our formula. Now this is really when you can customize it to the client sitting in your chair. You can bring the root shadow down as far as you want or leave it as high as you want. We're going to bring Miss Zoe's down just a few inches here. So I'm going to go in and just outline our entire section here. Look down for me, dear. Perfect. I'm going to let down this other section so it's out of our way and just kind of throw it over her shoulder. What I like to do in the back is take vertical partings here, so we're not setting all of the colored hair on top of our front sections. I'm going to pull this across, pinch it at the ends, and just Monet that color down. Now why we do this is because we don't want to line. We want to diffuse any lines that could show up there. Now I'm going to flip it to the other side and do the same exact thing. Now depending on the client that's sitting in your hair and in your chair and the density of their hair, that depends on the size of sections you want to take. I'm taking a little under a 1/2 inch section with her hair. And you'll just continue to do this from side to side. Now we will move on to the front sections here. This is when I'm going to outline my section again, but when I will take my diagonal partings and set it back onto the hair in the back. So we will take down these 2 sections here. I like to get a nice tight grip on the hair. I can have a lot more control without pulling out Miss Zoe's hair here. So again, I'm outlining my section. Pulling the hair away from where I'm applying the color. Just helps keep it out of the way. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it down over her shoulder because I don't want it in her face. Have you look down just a little bit. And I am going to start taking the diagonal partings here. And again, just laying it back and hair painting that color down. Just a few inches. Again, you can customize this to any client sitting in your chair. Even if you're using, oh, it doesn't matter, any color within our line. You can do any 3 formulations with this. You can do just 2 formulations. Now, we didn't have to with Zoe's hair because she was already light enough, but I would recommend, if you're going with one of our rose metallic looks, to go ahead and go in and balayage and pre-lighten the hair so it's light enough for the desired level that you're using. Alright, now that we have the root shadow applied to the entire head, this is where we're going to go in and start our color melt. So we're going to go ahead and take our 8 ROM and just blend it through half of what's left here. So it's very important in this part of the color application is to make sure you get a good blend within all of the colors. So if I look and feel like something's not blended, I will go ahead and grab my root shadow color and blend it down a little bit. I will start applying my 8 ROM a little bit below the line there. I like to brush the hair back and forth to make sure I get it nice and saturated, and then I'll go up and blend the 2 together. Really taking my brush in there sideways and blending those 2 colors together. And again, at the base of it, Monet that down. Just continue that throughout the entire head. Really go in and make sure that hair strand is saturated. Blend the 2 together. Feather it down on the ends. And now what we're leaving out is where we're going to apply our 10 ROM. Now that we've done our rich shadow into our first color in the color melt, everything that's left out on the ends is where we're going to go ahead and apply our 10 ROM. So, since it's just towards the ends of the hair, I don't necessarily have to section at the base. I'm just going to kind of come through and pull the hair around. And with the midsection there, I already Monet'd it down, so all I really have to do is blend that 10 ROM in. We will do this section, and then the gorgeous Miss Zoe will sit in process for 30 minutes, and then we will shampoo her out. Alright, now we have her all rinsed out. The color already looks beautiful. Remember, when it does dry, it will be a lot lighter, but I am really excited to see how this look turned out. We washed with our Snail shampoo and conditioner. Now we're going to add our Snail CC cream. We're going to just give it a couple pumps here and spread it evenly throughout the hair. And then I'm actually not going to blow dry her with a part today, because for our style we're going to do a braid straight back. So I am just going to blow dry the hair all away from her face and then go ahead and style her or curl her out with a 1-inch rod. I could not be more happy with the way that this look turned out. I am very mean, and Ms. Zoe has not seen it yet. We're going to go ahead and go into our style, and then we will let her see the finished product. What we're going to do for our style is just a fun, loose, trendy braid. So when I blew dry her, I blew dry all of her hair straight back. I did not take into account where her part was, simply because I'm going to take the braid straight back. So I'm going to go just kind of mid with her, or the middle of her eyebrows here, and part a half moon out. And we're just going to simply start a 3-strand braid. Since I do want a looser look, I'm not going to pull the braid too tight. Just going to keep it nice and loose here. Continuing to take small sections. And again, you can braid this back as far as you want. I'm just going to take probably 3 sections off to the side here, because I want some of this to still lay down the side when we have it all styled. Now I'm going to stop adding from the sides, and I'm going to go ahead and just braid it down a few times here. I'm going to tip your head down. And I always braid it a few more times than I need, because I can always go back and unbraid it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold very loose on the ends here, so I can just piece this out. Start towards the top here. Just really go in and give it that nice, dramatic, full braided effect. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to apply just a little rubber band. Make sure to keep your partings and sections nice and clean. Now that already looks cute, but we're going to take it one step farther. I'm going to take a piece of hair from underneath the braid, so a piece that's not braided in. just a nice little 1-inch section, and I am going to wrap it around just to hide the rubber band. And then we'll pin that underneath into the braid. And then finish her little ponytail out with a cute fishtail. Splitting the hair directly in half and continuing to add pieces and just crossing over. You can braid it down as far as you'd like. Stop wherever you want. I'm going to leave a little bit of room at the end of it. I'm going to add some of our soaking glass. And we are going to go through with a 1-inch curling iron and just add some loose waves to the bottom. I always like to leave the last 1/2 inch section out.